years since the day our first generation started arriving in the UK after the Second World War. Our first generation were truly enterprising, had the true spirit of enterprise. I can tell you many stories where I can remember growing up on the streets of Sheffield when I was younger, watching the first generation not only work in heavy industry, steelworks, textile mills, etc., but when they came home, they started working and developing enterprises. That is true enterprise. I recently went to an event, and I was privileged to hear one of our first generation businesses speak and say how hard it was in the early 60s, and what they had done to endure in respect of culture, language, and new surroundings in order to actually make their business successful. At the same event, one of the speakers was talking about his mother. She used to come back from working as an auxiliary nurse from the hospital, came home, and she grew mushrooms in the cellar. Then she took them mushrooms and sold them in the market. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is enterprise. And that is what our first generation, was about. I can go on with many rich stories. Our first generation started selling from suitcases. They used to travel on the bus. At that time, there were no cars. But now, we are reaping the benefits of that first generation. Our second, third generation, you heard from Zook how Tayyub's father set up the enterprise, and Tayyub and Madessa have taken it forward to the next level. That is what our second and third generation of businesses are doing now. We're going to the next level. The current coalition is talking about the effects on immigration of this great country of ours. Immigration is what has made this country great. After the First World War, the first generation of migrants came to the UK and rebuilt this country while they worked in the heavy industry. The universities have benefited from overseas students. High school migrants have ensured that we can compete with the threat from the Far East and the emerging economies. Within Secretary Vince Cable recently said that 50,000 rich businesses in the UK, which together generate more than 60 billion nationwide, helping to create thousands of jobs. He also went on to say Asian entrepreneurs, with increasing numbers of female bosses, was behind the shift away from traditional stereotypical family-run shops into businesses that play a direct role in British industry. However, one thing that has happened over the years, and this is a major concern that I have, is that managed businesses are still not being taken seriously by the mainstream. It's not their fault, the fault of ours. Speaking generally, we tend to be insular, living in our comfort zone, and quite happy and content with what we have. In some cases, these outlets are working very hard, but the rewards are less as times have changed. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to mainstream our businesses, and this can only happen if we recognise their achievements and honour their successes. However, these businesses must also come out of their comfort zone and seek support. We hear all the time about lack of finance, not being able to compete with the businesses. The reason for this is that we ourselves are not ready. We don't seek help outside. We don't have a back office function, which is crucial to the success of any business. James earlier on talked about looking to our partnership. If we need to make a change, we need to work with the various sectors of the LEP. Whether you're in retail, construction, digital industries, or property, we have to make a change. We need to get involved and ensure that our voice is being heard. I urge minority businesses to seek help from business support agencies, join the various sector groups at the LEP, and establish and have a voice on your sector. Support the plans that can actually help develop your sector further. Establish a long-term vision and not short-term thinking, and move with the times. Engage with social media, as can be evidenced by Sohail, our first speaker. We are now living in a global village. The future is social media. It's now time to work smarter, not work harder. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to become role models to our children and grandchildren. If we don't help them, who will? You may be thinking, who can help me? Where can I go for help and assistance? Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Abdn is about. Abdn is not only about supporting minority communities. We also work with and support mainstream businesses. The future customers for these mainstream businesses are the minority communities. I would urge you to talk to the 10,000 Small Business Programme team from Leeds University. or to hear tonight and apply to your next cohort. As you heard from Mike, it is an excellent programme, not only for business development, but for personal development as well. And most importantly, it is free. So join them. We also work with mainstream businesses to help them understand the community that they are serving, helping them to identify needs and wants, enable them to be aware of cultural sensitive practices that may hinder them from engaging with the communities that they are serving. This evening, you will see minority businesses being recognised for their achievements. I am humbled by the quality and quantity of businesses that have been nominated. Any one of these nominees could have won an award. The judges would agree that it's been difficult to separate the nominations. Each one is worthy of picking up an award. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight there are no losers, they are all winners. Finally, I would like to say a few words about the founder of Abdn, Arshad Akbar, who sadly passed away a couple of years ago. Arshad had a vision to establish Abdn nationally.